Hi, I'm Yitzhak Berger. I teach Hebrew here at Drisha. Parashat Mikeitz, after Yosef relates the interpretation of Paro's dreams to him and recommends what he needs to do in order to forestall the devastating impact of the famine that's going to attack Egypt, we have a difficult pasuk where Paro tells his servants, "Hanimtza kazeh ish asher ruach Elokim bo," which we can either translate, "Is there found a person like this who has a ruach Elokim, the Spirit of God?" or "Can we find someone like this who has the Spirit of God?" Different interpretations. What's particularly notable here is that Paro, after Yosef gives him this recommendation, does not seem to be talking to Yosef at all. Paro's point seems to be that he's turning to his servants after Yosef gives his recommendation. He turns to his servants and says, "Is there somebody like this who has a ruach Elokim bo? Perhaps somebody who can do the things that Yosef was recommending?" But the truth is that if you look carefully at what Paro says, it doesn't really look as though he's asking them, is there a person who we can appoint, who can be that individual who's going to oversee what Yosef is recommending should be done. What he does is say, is there somebody who has a ruach Elokim? Yosef didn't say that we should find somebody who has a ruach Elokim. But the Torah kind of leads us down this path here of ambiguity in order to hint at something else that would appear. Even though Yosef didn't say we need to find somebody with a ruach Elokim, Yosef repeatedly makes reference to God in his recommendation to Paro. Yosef says that this famine is going to come because God is going to bring it on quickly. I was able to give you this interpretation because God is conveying it to you through me. Repeatedly, Yosef makes reference to Elokim. This appears to not just have given Paro the sense that Yosef was wise, but it appears to have given Paro the sense that Yosef was a man of God and that God is behind this and that we need somebody who can act on God's behalf in order to implement Yosef's divinely revealed suggestion. And so Paro turns to his avadim and he says, is there found, or can we find somebody who has a ruach Elokim like this? And he means both things at once. He means, can we find somebody who can oversee this suggestion? But he's really also simultaneously kind of nodding to Yosef and saying, is there anyone like this who has such a ruach Elokim? Have we ever seen somebody who has a ruach Elokim like this, Yosef? The implication being that all wrapped up in one is this person who has the ruach Elokim and this person who is going to be the right person to oversee the process. And indeed, it's right at that point that Paro turns back to Yosef, and we read Vayomer Paro el Yosef, Acharei hodia Elokim otcha et kol zot. After God informed you of all this, Ein navom b'chacham kamocha. There is nobody who is as wise as you. The wise administrator and the one through whom the word of God is revealed are all wrapped up in one. That is what Yosef hinted to Paro and what Paro picked up on from the speech that Yosef gave him, riddled with references to Elokim. And so Yosef, as we know, then becomes the appointee who, with God's help, is able to administer the collection of food that will lessen the impact of the famine on Egypt and will have all of the implications for Yosef's family that we find in the latter half of Sefer Breshit. Shabbat Shalom.